She's coming.
There she is.
Okay, look at me.
And say cheese.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Oh, well.
Did you get did you get us all in that?
Solid.
That's unreal.
Damn near froze.
How did you get it that
Damn
wide?
near froze.
Why?
Everybody?
There was a breeze on the north
We
side
didn't even
of that town.
smile.
It
I
was
did.
clear around the
I
top. It was just a
Gary was
grin.
just smiling. I mean, Carol was smiling.
Well,
I guess it was just for
well, I went
picture.
to Strawberry
going-
that day.
Yeah.
Got a load of iron.
Well, as long as I was
And,
smiling for you.
I had
Carol.
snow on the summit.
Always try to help each
Strawberry
other
was
out.
older than Salt Lake.
Very good.
Oh, yeah, I went that. Well, I mean that breeze.
Yeah.
It was cold.
I wish I had my leotards
I'm
on.
gonna try to be quiet. We can't all go downstairs.
That's what Dad used to call him, wasn't it? He's the one that started that.
Hey, before you get talking about something that doesn't matter,
No, it doesn't matter.
I would like, you ready to go?
Well, wait a minute, let me talk.
All right.
Dad's the one that started the go
Leotards.
get your leotards on. You know? That's what it was, insulated underwear.
Yeah.
But it was leotards to Dad.
He had his on from, he took his off the 1st of June and put him back on the 2nd.
They took him off to
He didn't
bed.
take them off very long, did he?
No, no.
Well, I think he went
Okay.
on the 4th and put him back on the 24th
Was that how it was?
of July.
I thought
When he started to sweat.
I think that you should start with a, just because there's a lot of us kids that don't remember, I didn't know Grandpa, but I didn't know Uncle Tom very well. So I would like to hear maybe a funny story or two about Uncle Tom. And also, my dad was telling me about Beverly when she would just sit and giggle at herself all the time.
Well, Beverly wouldn't let Tom walk in the tracks. Would she go to school? Had to make
Never
her own
let
tracks.
us do a lot of things.
Beverly was mean.
I hear
She's
Glenna. I hear Glenna was the mean one.
She threw a knife at Gary, stuck in the door.
She threw plates at Joe Martinez and Moby Dick.
And they were angels.
You threw a knife at Gary in the kitchen in Midway, and it stuck in the
Gary,
door.
I'm sorry.
She missed, didn't she?
I remember that because I went to my room and
The devil made me do it.
scared to death she was going to get me with a knife.
You know, if we're going to tell any stories about
Well,
Tom, it's going to be funny.
A funny story about Tom is when he was going down the road on the horse and Della Alder come out, said, "Boy on the horse, would you go tell Clyde it's raining?"
And you have to
Well,
know Della.
You'd have to know Della, yeah.
Because she was very serious about
Who was
that.
that?
Della Alder.
She was about 2 steps
That
behind.
would be Marilyn's mother.
She was smart as a whip,
Brass
really.
band.
Oh, yeah,
She was really smart.
Oh, yeah,
She
but
was
she
just-
was-
Oh, yeah.
But she
Della.
just kind of empty.
It took Della an hour and a half to watch 60 Minutes.
I know she was reading. You remember Wayne Alder?
Who?
That was my age,
Yeah.
Wayne.
Uh-huh.
She was reading his yearbook, and somebody wrote, "God damn you" or something in it, you know. She said, "Look here." They said the Lord's name in vain, and they didn't even capitalize it.
That's Della.
Now that ain't. How do you remember stuff like that?
Hell yeah, how do you remember stuff like that? Okay, start to remember something about Tom, besides Della.
Well, Tom would let me drive his car, that blue Chev, if I'd clean it. I thought it was a good deal, because I wasn't a very good driver. I didn't have a license to start with, but if I'd clean his car and keep it clean, then I could drive his car around the block, Heber Way, you know, go through Heber. And so Tom was always good to me.
Well, Tom was pretty well good to everybody. He didn't cause any trouble.
Wayne had the
He was
temper.
good enough that he never milked the cows. He did the watering.
Yeah, he did the watering.
He didn't get close to barn with the cows in.
Why did we all have to work for Floyd?
I don't know.
That just kind of
Was
covered
that just
his name.
punishment? What,
Yeah, that's
something we
just,
done to our parents or what? We all had to go.
Well, it must have been Dad.
Mandatory.
Yeah, it's
We worked there and we'd eat there.
Okay,
And I was in the bathroom the other night, and I always thought was it Bill my age, or yeah, Bill was a couple of years younger. They couldn't say go to the bathroom; they had to go to the grunt. Got to go grunt. They never say go to the bathroom.
Well, that was Lois.
Do you remember any really fun experiences with Dad?
Any what?
Any fun experiences with Dad?
But he was always pretty busy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
When you
Everything
pulled
we
that
did
trick
with
on
him
your
was
dad.
work.
in
Oh,
Yeah,
California.
I mean,
California.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the younger. This
When he worked for the was it the WPA?
who?
Dad?
Yeah.
CA,
I don't think.
the
Then
CC,
he
didn't
Is
he?
that the CC's?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whistle,
Well-
piss, and argues. I know that's all I know.
Grandpa Glade didn't have anything fun about him?
I couldn't come up with a thing. The only, I mean, and he growls a lot. But when I wanted to try out for rodeo queen, oh my goodness, he was in for that.
Oh yeah,
He got
If
me
it had to do with the horse,
Yeah.
Yeah.
damn horse.
we had
We
to.
borrowed
What was
Bill
the name of that
Carroll's
American
horse.
saddler?
It
And-
come from the homestead.
Huh?
It
Yeah.
belonged to the homestead.
Yeah, and we had to curry that damn
Had to
thing.
brush that thing's mane 100 brushes a day.
But that's the time I spent with
Yeah.
Dad, and he was good. I made an attendance, so I, learned something. But that's the only time I remember spending time with Dad one-on-one where he wasn't growling at something.
Dad was a poor teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Had
I
he-
picked up a lot of bad vocabulary from Dad when we shoot horses,
Oh,
Yeah.
shot horses, because
Yeah.
the whole
he had
neighborhood
hit those
did.
suckers on the butt, and boy,
Yeah, I helped him shoe where I went and shoeing horses. I went 500 times shoeing horses in my kid career and never did really learn how to shoe a horse.
me either.
You wouldn't
He'd say,
matter.
Well, I
"Yeah,
helped
what-
too.
this is what you want to do. And then he'd say, you pick up the foot and say, how in the hell did you do anything when you're going to pick up a foot like that?
That's interesting.
Well, I did
He does
too,
the same thing.
and I went to shoe a horse, and I lifted that hind leg wrong. I was having a hell of a time. I was all alone, But you don't pick them up, and put it between your legs.
No.
Only to.
I never really did learn how to shoe a horse or correct its foot if it was too
Correct
big.
different measure.
But guess what we did learn how to do?
Swear.
Pull gray hair.
Oh,
Sunday
yes.
afternoon.
Lou, you
Is
never had
this-
to do
I
that.
didn't. No, I didn't do it. I had bad eyes.
Yes, sir. Dad would lay on the couch
Yeah,
and
we-
you'd pull gray hairs. Now, that's the truth, isn't
Yeah.
it?
What'd
Every
you pull
Sunday
gray hairs out
afternoon.
of?
He
Huh?
wanted to stay young.
I find that.
Yeah. Don't
That-
you remember that?
Oh
Well,
yes.
you was out playing.
You
Well,
gotta
yeah.
take a beat.
I was the only one that had to work. You did pulling hair, and I was out
Lou
pulling
had
water.
Hey, come on.
Do you remember Wayne?
No, I remember that, but I remember him too.
Not doing it.
Yeah, said he had to work.
Yeah.
Dad went up and go get Lou up. A
Well,
human being can't stand in bed that long without wetting it.
Yeah. Better go check on him. He might be in bed. He's been in bed all night long.
Yeah, that was.
Turn that off.
Yeah.
And they had they had to join the AA when he was going to quit drinking. And
That's when you've already drank.
Huh?
You've already quit.
oh, you've already quit. And they had them in the homes.
Trying to keep quitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd say, "You can be here if you come in, keep your mouth shut, and just listen."
You
It was
seen
Matt
him?
Leahy
Huh?
and
Yeah, be
Carl
seen
Duke,
and not heard.
Carl Duke, yeah.
Who did you say first?
Bingley.
Matt Leahy. Matt Leahy.
Well,
Matt.
and who was the
Who was
other?
the barber?
That
Matt.
Uncle
What was his
Bert.
name?
No, Matt McDaniel.
Oh, Matt, yeah.
They're next to Chicks.
Boy,
And Bingley.
Yeah.
Was he a barber?
No, he was a AA.
OLAA.
who's that?
Bingley worked for the power company, did he?
A telephone, wasn't it?
Telephone, yeah.
Yeah. But
And Mac. What was his last name?
McDaniel.
McDaniel. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that took the pictures over by in the old town hall.
Webb.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
scared to death of him.
I know it.
Well, he wasn't very nice.
I had to take you
Fine.
by the hand when we went to the show. Till we
You
got-
what?
I'd have to take you by the hand till we got past there.
Hell, yes.
Till we got to Leathy's.
Remember when he started the business?
When what?
When he started in there with that, taking pictures? He put a red light out front.
You may have to
Getting a lot of
censor all
cars stopped. Had to change the light.
But you know,
It's just our kids. It's good.
when older people come to visit, the kids didn't make a lot of noise. Us kids didn't make a lot of noise.
No.
We
You
sit there and listen. If we had something to say, we might clear our throat or something, but we didn't make a lot of commotion.
Mm-mm.
I remember one time when what was Bill Erkenbrack's dad's name? Otis?
Otis.
Otis.
Yeah, he was. Me and Biddy was there, and Otis was telling Dad about when he was young. He had a seeing stone, and he could see what was going on
A
over
seer.
the- Huh?
Sear stone?
He called it a seeing stone.
Oh,
But me and Biddy laughed, and that was the last we laughed that day. Boy,
There's only two of them pharaohs left now. Steve
Stephen
and
Roy.
Roy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I wanted to go out with Cale Cummings,
Well, who wouldn't?
and Dad said no. It broke my heart. So it's what I did. I went up to my room, but then
Was this at the old Bonner Corner house?
yeah, and then I shimmied off the porch and went out with Cale. Guess who was on the porch waiting for me to come home? I could have turned him in for child abuse. He was so mad at me, and when I saw that light on in the house, I thought, Heavenly Father.
But not child abuse back then. The times have changed, don't you think, Gary?
Oh yes.
He was mad. He was mad.
Yeah, yeah.
He sent me uptown to get him a pack of smokes one night.
20 cents.
I don't remember how much they were then, but I got mixed up with the wrong crowd when I got there. Went up with Duck Prevost, you remember him?
Who?
Duck.
Yeah.
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 There was Duck and
Chloe.
Biddy, Rabbit, and I think Ken Everett was there, but we ended up in Evanston. Really had a party, and I got home just as the sun was coming up. And do you remember the song Shaboom?
Yeah.
I was singing Shaboom, Shaboom when I walked in the house. And boy, I opened that door. I'll Shaboom you. But hey, he started kicking
He was good at
my
that.
butt. And I don't know if you remember in our kitchen, we had the kitchen sink, and then we had a flat top water heater,
Yeah.
tabletop water heater.
Yeah.
And I got between them, and he was smacking me on the back and behind the head. And I remember him telling me, "This is hurting me worse than it hurts you." I thought,
Yeah,
boy, you're in trouble.
That was his cry.
We're talking about going up to Pete's and get smokes. Dad sent me up to get a pack. When I first started smoking, I went in and said I need a pack of smokes for Dad. Well, guess who walked in as I was walking out?
Your
Dad?
dad.
Dad. He wanted a pack of smokes too.
He said,
He should have said, "Oh, these are for Lou."
And then you'd get in your car and reach under your seat, where you always kept your cigarettes under the seat, you know. in your
Uncle
car.
Lee did too.
Who?
Uncle Lee.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
he was really a sneaky smoker.
He was got
Yeah.
by the pig pen. You can see that
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
We used to come in the house when we'd come home late at night, or we'd go through, and that's where their bedroom was, you know,
Yeah.
when you come in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd go upstairs where our bedrooms were. We'd just jump off the porch and go back to town. Never know what's going on.
You know,
I never did that, but
jumping off that porch, wasn't an easy thing to do.
No.
No.
Well, I'd hate to try it now.
Yeah.
It's a long way.
I remember Tom jumping off the middle one, and that's no porch at all.
That's it. This
Oh, that's
roof
you
one-
just
there.
had to.
Well, he was walking in his sleep.
Yeah.
That time.
Well,
Well,
that
that was
was
one time he'd out
that
the
was
window
in-
in the winter.
when the Japs
Yeah,
attacked
they
Pearl
would go
Harbor.
downstairs to the bathroom.
He was out
Tom
on
would be
there.
out the window.
Yeah, and he would land on the roof of the
And I
bay
said, oh,
window.
for hell's sakes, get
you
back
know.
in bed, Tom. He said,
And in
the
the
Japs
summer,
was
it
that.
got rain.
Here
My
we
mother
Was it
said, the
that
next
Somebody
one
said
that
we,
pees out
the,
there's gonna
the
get
Japs
cut
attacked us,
off.
and somebody said, didn't you know they're mad at us?
It was
Well,
Tom.
Get Dirty hollered across the street. Gerald,
Yeah?
and it was over the Second War, the Japs have attacked Pearl Harbor. And I said, who the hell's a Jap? Well, we didn't know what a Jap was.
No. Because I was just born that year.
Yeah.
I was born in May and the December. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I bet you do.
I bet you did.
You always
guys are
did
the
have
same
good
age?
recall.
Yeah.
A year different,
In school. Same year.
Yeah.
same year, but
May and December.
I was December.
But you know, Midway Days was more fun than.
So he's from
Swiss
May to
days.
Oh, I'd
December
say.
older.
Oh yeah.
What's the
well,
difference?
You what?
What's the difference between Midway days and Swiss days?
It
There's
was
only
a
about-
family thing. I mean,
Probably about 55,000 people or something.
Yeah, that's more like it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's just when
Yeah.
Or
people
more.
get together and
It was more of a local little celebration.
oh yeah,
Oh,
just
Just
yes.
Midway.
You
And
had
had
a
to
kegger
put
in
up
the
them dad had
parade.
to put up them little swings. You remember that?
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Little
and had a cute
airplanes
parade.
over they were.
That went around in a
Yeah.
circle.
You could ride them all day if you wanted.
Yeah, that.
I remember.
That's where they say Vivian. That's where Vivian started that scone. Vivian Probst. She started making scones out of her.
Probably.
That
On the corner
probably,
there.
yeah.
That's when
I thought that
Now
was
it's nuts.
they used to go
Waiting in line
to the
4 hours
hills
for a scone.
and shoot deer
oh, for the barbecue.
for the barbecue. I remember Gary got sick on. Gary
Oh, the
got
barbecue.
drinking.
The barbecue got him.
Yeah, the barbecue got.
What's that?
He was laying flat on the ground right on that back door of the town hall. Dad and Mom walked up to him, and he looked up. Said, "Don't eat that barbecue."
Says what?
Don't eat that barbecue.
And it was after when that show that Click used to put on the musical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it Luella Fitzgerald was Clark's mother?
Yeah.
Luella come out with Lois Bonner,
Mm-hmm.
and Clark had passed out in a snowbank. And Luella says, "Who's that poor boy over there?"
Oh, Clark
It was
Fitzgerald.
Clark.
Oh,
Yeah, Clark Fitzgerald.
oh. Poor boy.
He passed out on quite a few snowbanks.
Yeah.
But getting back to Dad too, we haven't talked much about Mom either.
We
But
can in a minute.
Dad was quite a, do you call him a disciplinarian? Because, do you remember, I think it was old Dot,
Yeah.
the horse?
Mm-hmm.
Remember how we used to stake the horses out on
Oh,
the
yeah.
side of the road? Everybody did it.
Oh yes.
Everybody put the horses out beside the, to feed it off so it wouldn't burn. But it was my job to
Stake it out.
check it out and water the horse, water old Dot every day, you know. And you know, you can tell when a horse has been out all day and hasn't had a drink.
Yeah.
And
Right.
every day Dad would get home from work and I said, "Did you water Dot?" And yeah, I got her. And I did, usually, but a couple of days in a row I missed.
Something come up, huh?
And anyway, the first thing he'd do when he'd get home from work is go take Dot to the ditch. And you could tell when a horse hadn't had a drink.
For 2 days, yep.
Well, he threatened me a couple of times, and I didn't think he was serious. And I didn't water the horse for a couple of, and he come home and didn't, seen the horse hadn't been watered. So the next morning, this is when he was working up to the new park, I believe. The next morning he got me up to stake Dot out. He usually takes her up. He got me up to stake her out. And he told me to stand there with her all day. Stand here with Dot today. Don't go for water. Stand here and don't stand on the shady side. Stand here with. Hell, I stood there. That's a long time to stand on the
Takes a
ditch
long
bank.
day, huh?
And I stood there, And then Dad got home from work. You know what he did? He went and gave Dawn a drink, and brought her back to me, standing on the ditch, and then he went and had supper before he come and released me. And then the next thing I did, remember how we all had rabbits?
Uncle Bert.
Uncle Bert.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
this
thank
was
you.
after Uncle Bert was gone. We didn't have pellets then. We used to have to go out and pull grass for him.
Oh yeah.
And I starved a couple to death. A couple of little rabbits to death. Boy, he found them little rabbits starved to death. Hell, he put me in that pen. Hell, you know, you're sitting on chicken wire.
He didn't like you to misuse an animal.
No, he
Oh, no,
didn't. And hell, then
He didn't
again,
care
he
if
went
the
for
kids
supper. And I thought, hell, he's going to starve me to death. But he did. He just left me in there a little
I
while.
remember pulling grass for Uncle Bert.
You and I spent a lot of time.
Bertel
with
never
Uncle
had to, because Daddy wouldn't let Bertel do it.
Where did Uncle Bert keep his beer?
Where?
In the grain.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
That's
had
when he kept him
jumbos.
cold.
I used to go to Jack Dairy's when
Oh, yeah.
and get quarts.
We got
Yeah.
the jumbo.
Yeah.
Then you got the nickel, didn't you,
What?
for the bottle?
No, I didn't. No, I never got the nickel. I just go to Uncle Boo's or over to Jack's and get a quart for Uncle Boo.
So
But you
did
got
I.
the empty bottle that you
I
got.
went up every day to get the beer, but he'd
Well, he
give me
kind
the
of raised
nickel.
you, didn't he?
He'd get
Yeah.
Uncle
give me
Boo,
the
Uncle
nickel.
Boo, a milk cow dog.
Yeah, milk cow dog.
Oh.
So you're
I
telling me that
remember
you
taking the
didn't learn,
cows.
you didn't
to,
learn
uh,
anything from Grandpa. There's nothing that he taught you.
Hardly.
You remember what, Gary?
Taking the cows after we milked them, you know, down when they put them down in the river
Yeah.
bottoms.
Down the
We
meadow.
take them down there, and I done that horse. You remember Fly? And
Yeah.
I'd heard the cows down there, and I'd wait till I'd see a car coming up the road. Not many of them come up the road, and I'd get running and stand up on it. I could stand up on it.
I know you did.
Oh,
the
hell, she
ground.
was like standing on that.
Yeah, just I'd stand there and ride, and then people would stop to look at me. They couldn't believe it.
Trick rider.
But Fly was a good horse.
Yeah.
You could lay on Fly on the. She'd
Oh,
take the
yeah.
cows to
Well,
the
didn't they
bath.
use her
Yeah.
for a pulley horse too?
Oh, yeah, she was.
Yeah, I
she
rode
was
her
a
on a
pulley
pulley
horse.
horse.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
horse.
She could really walk.
Yeah,
Yeah, she could really
Well,
walk.
he used to tell everybody you could ride a horse and light a cigarette.
that wasn't very hard on that horse to do it.
Didn't even make a breeze.
So what life lesson did you learn from Grandpa Glee?
Don't starve the rabbits.
Don't smoke.
Don't
Don't
smoke.
smoke.
cigarette.
But you did. You smoked for a long time, didn't you?
What?
Didn't you smoke for a long time?
Yeah, well,
He didn't inhale though.
No, he didn't inhale to.
Yeah.
me and Bill Clinton didn't he?
How long
Tell
did
me
you
this-
smoke too, didn't you?
Who?
Wayne?
Yeah, but I was never hooked.
I remember Wayne. This is a story,
Wait a minute.
Wait a
but
minute.
Wayne would
Careful.
say to Dad, "Give me a smoke before I lose the habit."
Oh, hell.
Did Uncle Bert didn't smoke, did he?
I don't
He
remember.
drank a lot of beer,
remember.
but I don't think he ever
I
smoked.
don't even remember him smoking.
Didn't
But he
everybody
might.
smoke back then? It
More or less.
was kind of
I didn't.
the norm.
It wasn't, no, yeah.
Yeah.
They wasn't unhealthy then.
Yeah.
No, they had to change.
They only lived to be 100 then.
Yeah, they didn't have the warning on the back.
When they had the AA meetings, and then the room was just blue.
And coffee.
Blue.
Just
Huh?
like a
And
cloud of
coffee.
smoke.
Always
Coffee
had
and
a cup
coffee.
of coffee in front of
But
them.
you'd walk in that room on an AA night, you couldn't see the. If you stood up, you couldn't see who was there.
Where did they do the AA meetings?
Different houses.
In the different
In
homes.
a house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you could smoke in the house then.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't stink either, did it?
Whether they could or not, Dad would have smoked in the house. You
Yeah.
see him stand on the porch smoking.
Did
And
Grandma tell everybody that I was the favorite?
She didn't mention that to many, you know.
No, I don't think she did.
No, she forgot to tell us that.
No.
Who's that?
Grandma Burness. I was her favorite.
Well, we'd give
How
it to
old were
grandma,
you
the other
when she
grandma.
died?
We'd go and say
Mary.
to her, now that I'm in here alone with you, talking to you, can you tell me that I'm your favorite grandson?
Who?
Don't be so damn soft.
Grandma's honor.
Oh, laddie.
Grandma Ada. Great grandma's honor.
Grandma Ada did not like me.
I can remember when we sleeping up, you and I were the only two home then, and I can remember Grandma came in and I don't think you was doing anything,
She didn't like
but
me.
she came in and just started slapping hell out of you.
Yeah.
Told you to shut up. You was gonna wake Richard.
Accused me of stealing her underwear first, and then I'd get some bread out of that old stove she had with
Yeah.
the
Black one.
heating up on top. I stole stuff out of there, and I couldn't even reach the damn thing. But
Well, that was hot of 'em.
Wayne and Tom and Bev were their favorites. They got to eat first and all that crap.
Seniority.
I know it.
Okay.
I was at the end of the table and it was gone when it got there.
Who's the oldest?
Tom,
Tom.
or Bev was
Bev.
the oldest.
Yeah.
Bev and then Tom.
Beverly and
And then
Tom.
Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right in the middle.
You didn't have to do anything either. You and Lou.
I think me and Gary's about the only two that really had to put out.
Didn't have what?
And we really had to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what about Mom? I want to talk about Mom. I can't think of any real.
The thing that stands out with Mom is wash day. Remember Monday
And then
mornings?
go around
Yeah,
midway
go
and
to
see
school.
the dirty clothes on.
Huh?
Look at them dirty clothes on that line.
She had to be the first one to have the clothes on the line, and it had to be just like this. Everything in from the
Well, I
longest to
inherited a
the
lot of that.
shortest. And white.
When you shovel snow, you shovel the lines out first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But Mom, what I remember about Mom was her when she was a nurse and she'd
What?
have the ironing board out and that cleated, or what do you call it?
White uniform, starch.
Starched.
Oh, yeah.
Just stand
Well,
up.
when she got through ironing, she could just stand them up against the wall.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were she didn't do it, but they would stand there if she put them there, because they were so stiff, white as the driven snow,
Yeah, you see
and
pictures.
her shoes was this very same way. She
Yeah, you
polished them
never
every
Every
night.
night.
You didn't ever see a black spot on
No.
her shoes.
And
And then you
that's the only thing I couldn't iron.
White shoes.
Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
But I couldn't iron her uniforms. She was the only one that could iron them.
She started out as a scrub woman over the hospital,
Mhm.
wash woman,
Washwoman.
and then she went to cooking.
Yep.
Did she go to
Then-
cooking?
With McKnight.
Thelma
Thelma
McKnight.
McKnight. That's who she helped cook.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then she
I
got
Pearl.
to,
Wasn't it Pearl McKnight?
no, that was Merle Gardner.
Oh, Pearl, I said.
Mer-
Merle was the nurse
Yeah.
that never married
No.
and spent all her time down the nursery looking at babies. And Elba was a nurse.
Uh huh.
And
Well, her and Mom, they
And-
got
and-
they went to their LPN thing together.
Enid Duke.
Duke. Uh huh.
She was over the nurses.
Sina Duke.
Yeah.
Who?
Sina. She lived up in Hailstone.
Mm-hmm.
And the night my baby died, Mom couldn't come and tell me.
Night who died?
Vance,
But
Oh.
Because she couldn't, or because she just couldn't, like
she,
didn't have the heart.
no. Well, he was born,
when did he
I didn't know
die?
that had happened.
What year did he die?
When was we in California? What year?
Well, we were living in Kaysville when he died.
he was the third one.
It'd be in the 50, maybe 56, 57.
Uh-huh.
It must have been 57 because I was working in California with Gary and I was in California, and I come home on vacation when Vance was born. And when I was leaving to go back to California, and I called, and Vance had died while I was
Okay.
on the road.
And Mom couldn't come in. She brought him in. He was born in the afternoon, and then she brought him in late that afternoon after he was born. And I got to hold him for a few minutes, but then he started to turn blue again, and she took him. Said we got to get him back, and they put him in a. They didn't put.
Like an
Anyway.
oxygen tank.
Yeah.
Almost.
And then the next morning he died, and but she couldn't come in and tell me. She said I just could not do it, so she sent Jerry's dad, and he came in and told me that Vance had died.
Mm.
And I really didn't have, but I was. It was a. I had a hard. He was early, a month early, and I'd been sick for a couple of days, just in a lot of pain, and Dr. Draper didn't know what to do with me because the baby was too soon to be born, and so when he come and said, we're going to do a C-section, do a cesarean section and take the baby in, I said, okay. And he come back to me and he said, do you know what a cesarean section is? I said, yes. And he said, well, you just didn't act like you knew. I said, Dr. Draper, at this point, you can say, we've got to cut your throat this afternoon. And I would say, okay. Because I was hurting so bad, and I didn't really care what happened. And so I was just kind of out of it. And Mom said I just couldn't come in and tell you. So Earl came in and told me that Vance had died. So
Now, that wasn't Mom's nature either.
no.
She would usually be the one that would break the bad news to people.
Yep.
There wasn't many nurses that was as popular as Mom was. She was.
No, she
if
was
you
well
told,
loved.
And
Yeah.
when I was carrying on, and I said, well, this happened to me, and she said, okay, if you could pick someone, who would you choose to go through what you're going through right now? Who would you choose? Well, the way as hurting as I was hurting, I wouldn't choose anyone. She said, okay, then let's get through this. That's the kind of person she was. If she could fix it, let's fix it. If we can't, deal with it. That's how she was.
I heard that kids used to line up to get shots from her.
Oh, yes.
we did.
Oh.
None of our family.
Needles like that. That needle looked just
Yeah,
like that.
Not quite that sharp on the end.
They wasn't that sharp on it.
But
Yeah.
one time, the nurses used to have a get together around the holidays, all the nurses. And Mom drove one night, and she went to the party, and Dad got up the next morning, and somebody puked out the side of the car, down the side of the car. And he says, who the hell puked out the side of the car? I did. How the hell did you drive?
It was a new car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he said, how do you puke out of one side and drive on the other side? It wasn't easy.
But them nurses had
They had a good
Had
time.
had some good times.
Yeah. Was it a nurse at the Zanger that hit Aunt Lizzie?
It was a Hasler.
What
Hasler.
Hasler? She a nurse?
Hasler.
Yeah.
Hasler.
I was thinking it was.
Like hit her?
It wasn't a woman.
Yeah, it was.
No,
I
it
thought it was a
wasn't. It was
man.
a man.
No.
No.
Ann Hasler.
No, it's his wife.
Well, then I was wrong then. But
Because you and I.
I
was
remember
going to
that.
the movies when she got hit.
Hit by a car?
Yeah.
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 Took
Not-
it right out of the
She
shoes,
wear
didn't it?
black
I
all the time.
always,
all the time.
always had black.
Because I can
Clothes
remember
on.
you
Well, she was
hollering,
going up to
hello, Aunt Lizzie,
Emily's
just before she got hit.
Well, tell us where she lived,
Crossroad.
across the road.
in which house.
Cross
You
the road
sure
from
it was a man?
Where you
Straight
live?
across.
Huh? I thought it was. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
the
it was.
home were okay.
I thought it was
Uh-huh.
Ann Hasler.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there was an older Hasler,
Yeah,
but
but
this
I think
Hasler
it-
went to.
I think
I think-
I don't think it was a man.
Huh?
Well,
I don't.
Well,
I think it was a
I think
woman.
it was a
Well,
woman.
I might
I
be
was
wrong.
down milking, so I didn't know.
You wasn't out of bed yet.
so how
let's
was she
see.
connected
She,
to
no, Floyd Bonner.
Floyd?
When was that?
Mother.
His mother, Floyd Bonner's mother.
Let me tell you about my first job with Earl Kohler. He was the mayor of Midway at the time, but I was working for him, and I would just follow him around, and he'd tell me what to do, and I'd go do it. And he's telling this one guy who it was. He says, "This is Gary Bonner's my helper." He says, "He don't do much, but hell, he's good company."
What did George Raymond
Yeah.
used to call Tom my big peckered friend?
Yeah.
Come in,
Oh,
Lord.
that's
When I saw Bob's obituary, I thought of George.
Yeah, that's
And what did he do with Bob's? What?
That's the first thing you says. Called Tom
Yeah,
Bob
but-
who?
Raymond.
Raymond, his
Raymond.
dad.
He just died.
Didn't Tom milk his cows for quite a while?
Oh yeah.
Come in, my long peckered friend.
Yeah.
And then he talked. And then what was Bob's nickname? Snooks.
Snooks.
And you was called him that.
Oh, didn't
Yeah.
you call him Snooks?
Don't you remember when Bob Raymond was called Snooks? Hell, he went by that until he got in high school.
Then he called it what he's.
He was the bishop in Provo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I took Todd or somebody down to the Regals to the roller
Regals.
skating rink. Is
Uh-huh.
that Regals?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a roller skating rink. I had a half a dozen kids down there, and Bob had his young men and young women in there skating. He called them all together for some reason. When they just getting started, he called them all together, and I just skated up in the middle of the circle and said, "How you doing, Snooks?"
Well, what did Snooks mean?
Just
I don't know.
a-
George gave him that name.
Just a.
Well, his dad.
Yeah, yeah.
What did he call Johnny?
His brother.
Johnny had a nickname.
Didn't
Speed.
Speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who had a nickname?
Johnny.
Oh, did he?
Yes, don't
Speed.
you remember him
Yeah, I
being
remember
Speed?
that.
Come on,
Yeah, I
Speed.
remember that now.
Speed.
Huh?
I remember Speed.
Yeah. You know, he would just it'd take him a half a day to go to the store. Then Glenn would steal the crust.
That's an old wives' tale. That never really happened.
Hell, it
It
did.
didn't happen.
And you
Well,
about
Van-
drove Johnny Peterson crazy.
Huh?
When you about drove Johnny Peterson crazy,
Oh,
he'd come up to the store and tie that little black mare to under that tree. You'd get on it and get it in the lather. He'd come back and tie it up. He'd come out and look at it. I remember that.
I do too.
Well, there
I've
was
forgotten
shade
that.
back there, you know. Well, Johnny and Albert was pretty close.
Yeah, they visited quite a while.
Oh, they
I
visited
figured
quite
I
a
had
while. Yeah, they did.
I had
You
a
had
good ride
plenty-
Who's
by.
that? Johnny who?
Peterson.
Peterson. He was kind of crazy guy.
No, that was Guy.
Was
that
Guy?
Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Guy.
Guy Pete
Oh,
did that
Guy
till he was
Pete?
40.
Yeah, Guy Pete. He was.
Well, they used to have a double feature every Thursday. The church, if you paid you something. And he went through it, and he said 2 nights he sat through it twice. Then he came out, and Guy Coleman said to him, "You must have liked that guy." He said, "Yeah, but it seems like I've seen him." But I mean, that happened, you know. Guy
You know how
told
much a show
me.
ticket was?
How much?
14 cents.
You always got to keep the penny.
Yeah, but you only made like $45 a week.
Well, yeah, but I'm
A
saying.
week.
Who made $45 a week?
I made $90 a month from John Jost when I started. That's when Floyd told me I couldn't.
I know, but
quit.
you always one of the higher paid guys. You
Yeah.
I worked harder.
always worked
He was
hard.
more skilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dying
I
cat
knew how to
on
drive
your
a shit
face.
wagon. Stop it real quick.
I think Barbara's still alive.
Yeah.
Is John?
Huh?
Young John?
No, Barbara.
Barbara.
Barbara Jost.
Well,
No,
yeah, but there was a
Virginia.
young John.
Virginia Jost
Virginia.
was my age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbara was a year older than me.
Yeah, that's. I
And
got
Johnny was your age, wasn't she?
You're older than he was. Was he all right? He had
No,
to sit
he was a
on.
year
You're
old.
down Provo Canyon with John Jost, and you'd pass him on the right or the left. You wanted to pass him.
So obviously, I want to send this to Lorraine and her kids. So I want like the most obscene story of Tom, or just the funniest story you can think of Tom.
Tom peeing out the window on the roof. Remember?
Yeah.
Didn't he? All winter he'd pee out the window.
Well, that's
Look it out.
when, he was out there when the Japs. He was out when the Japs out there.
And then in the summer it'd just burn your eyes too
Oh, we
loud.
peed out the window because it was just too cold to get in want to leave that too
Well,
long.
remember
Well,
when
didn't you have to
Tom,
like heat the
like
bricks
you
up
say,
or
you'd
something
have
like
them
that?
nightmares.
Oh yeah, you always
he'd
heated
got
the
on that
bricks to
middle.
take to bed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You'd
window.
fall out the window?
Yeah, and sit on that little teeny thing on the window, but he was just having a damn nightmare.
I know it. I said, come on, get back in bed, Tom. Well, the Japs was after him, but he come back. But I mean, it was an ordinary thing with Tom. He talked a lot.
He
They-
would walk in and sleep.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
For hell's sake, go back to bed, Tom. You know. Oh yeah.
What about Beverly? What did Beverly do? Work at a bank? Is that what she did? That's not too exciting.
She worked at the hospital for not as a nurse.
What
She
did
was
do?
much smarter than the rest of us.
She was. But she didn't have any fun.
Well,
She
me and
did.
her was close.
Huh?
Close, being smart.
Oh,
Not even close.
She was the one that say, "Will you paint my house anytime tomorrow? Fine."
Yeah, tomorrow.
And she'd clean the house and then she'd lock the doors and you couldn't get in.
So you wouldn't get it dirty?
Yeah. So that's, I guess, when we started peeing in the bushes.
She's been gone for a while.
Yep.
Oh, when did Bev die?
Oh hell, I can't remember.
I was in high school. I think I was a junior, so I think it was 1995.
Well, she got mad at me because
Beverly?
no.
I can't believe that. Huh?
I
When
can't.
Jerry was on the city council, they did something that upset Beverly. So I got the wrath. And I didn't know that she was mad at me. And I went up to her house and knocked on the door. And this was after she was sick. And she forgot that we had made amends from when she wasn't sick. And she opened the door and she says, "What do you want?" Looked like Satan himself. I said, "Nothing. See ya." But she wasn't nice a lot
No,
of
Beverly.
times.
Beverly was kind of like Grandma Ada.
Uh-huh.
She had a mean.
Mean streak.
But you know, she offered to put me through college.
Bev did?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't take her up on it?
No, I was already smart.
Didn't she
Yeah,
tell
I
you to
did.
take the money instead?
I should have said that, but I wasn't that
But I
smart.
mean, then with Bill, Bill made her meaner
I know.
because the cops would bring him home and handcuff him to the handrail and leave him there.
Oh, young Bill or old Bill?
Young Bill.
Young Bill.
Well, see,
Is that what they would do? Bring him home and handcuff him?
Yeah, handcuffed him to the rail. And when Bev got up, she'd call the cops and come up.
I didn't know that.
That's how it worked back then? They would just bring you home instead of taking you to jail.
Oh yeah, they didn't. Right.
Every time I was picked up, I was framed.
Yeah. He was out looking for his car.
someone
Couldn't
moved
give me a
it.
drug to drive it because I couldn't find my car.
Let me tell you one.
You go find her, Richard. Lou's got a headache.
I remember young Bill knocking on our door, and Uncle Gary, can you come and help me? He'd lost his car. He didn't know where it was, and he'd gone over a fence. And anyway, it was all scraped up and everything. And he didn't know where he was. He'd been down to Ronnie Edwards and everything. So finally we got him in and got him settled, and Gary took him to find his car. Then the next time he came, and he said he had a flat up Snake Creek. Would Gary come and help him? And Gary said, okay, and he came back and he says, you really didn't have a flat car. He just lost a flat tire. He just lost his car, but he didn't want to upset me. Let me tell you about Lou, just one about Lou. I remember when he came home from the army, and we never knew whether we were going to wake up and Lou was going to be on her couch or just what, because he'd just come home and he would just come in and go to sleep.
I'm tired.
He worked the day
But-
before.
Worked the day before, you know.
Yeah.
A full shift.
But he always found his way to our house to rest.
But I want you to know, Glenna, you've brought me a lot of heck from my grandkids. they said, "Oh, Lewis, you poor little thing." Mom, you told my grandkids.
Well, I didn't mean to do it with the intent of having them say anything to you.
Just honesty.
I told them, I said, don't say anything to him about it. But he was an asshole. He was a mean brat. And everybody had to do whatever Lou said.
If Lou didn't want to do it, the older brother would get it.
Yeah. You bet I told him.
I'll tell you one about Lou. When he was even in high school, might have been junior high or high school, we'd go to everybody went to the scary movies. We loved it, and Lou was no different. He loved scary movies, except when the scary parts come. And up the aisle he would go, and he'd leave the theater, then he'd come back,
Scared.
then he'd go again, and back and forth. He was scared.
Drink a 6-pack and chill.
Oh, we'd laugh. It's funny.
If you could live those days again, that'd be nice.
And now, I couldn't hardly wait to go to high school just to ride the bus. I thought that was fun.
That's because nobody
You
had
went
cars.
8 years over here, didn't you?
Huh?
You went 8 years in Midway.
Uh-huh.
That's because you didn't want to walk across the lane, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Not everybody had a car back
They
then.
had to go.
Yeah, hell yes.
That's true. That's true.
Sure be walking.
Bert Carlson kicked me off the bus, me and Joan Ritchie. I couldn't take a bus for quite a while.
You know, Joan Ritchie.
I can't understand that.
Because Joan was picking on me or something.
Huh?
Joan was picking on
John
me.
Giles.
I
John
know.
We got
Usually they
kicked
make-
off right
Why?
at the school before we left.
Why, Lou? Why were you kicked off, you and Joan?
I can't remember, but it was some, incidental.
Bert was kind of a grouch.
Yeah, he couldn't stand
Everybody
up.
wanted to get on Lurcher's bus because you could do anything you wanted
Who?
on Lurcher's bus.
Yeah.
And they used to race, too, across that lane.
Yeah.
Bert and that
Yeah.
Roy Lurcher.
Lurcher usually won though.
Yeah, he did. Could
The
you
kids-
imagine
the
that
kids
now?
were cowered under the
School
seats.
bus racing across there.
So what memories do you have of Wayne, guys?
Very few.
Appendicitis.
Hell yeah, and he milked that for how long?
Or was it appendicitis or gallbladder that put
He
you down
about
for about
died.
3
Oh,
years?
appendicitis. He got kicked in the head.
He got
Yeah,
He
kicked
just
in
got
the
better
head
from that when he got appendicitis.
Who did?
by a horse.
Oh yeah, he got kicked in the
A
head
horse?
first.
And a
And
fractured
he
skull.
was down for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Mom wouldn't let him out.
Well, I can remember.
Mom wouldn't let him out.
What,
How old were you then, Wayne?
5, I believe.
Ooh, when you were kicked?
Yeah.
That wasn't good.
No,
Oh, no.
I think they thought he was going to die.
Really?
They had to tap my spine.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That he was in bed so long then. can
I
remember-
never did get bed sores.
I remember him.
I know
They
a
used to
bed
Remember
keep
our
in
back
bed a
door
long
where we
time.
hang all our clothes?
Uh-huh.
He told Mom to make Tom and me and Gary hang our clothes outside because the smell was bothering him.
Well, you like, well, I was being honest. You never went to the movie with Brother Calder, did you?
Huh?
Henry? Up to the movie, the Rio?
No.
Did
Did
you have
you
to
make
pay
with
his
his
ticket?
shitty boots?
That was in Midway. The
In
movie. They had a
Midway.
movie
Yeah,
theater.
in a movie theater in Midway?
Rio
Right across
Theater,
from
yes.
Rio.
Vans.
Across from where?
My grandma Vans, right across the street where the store
Our
is right now.
7-Eleven is now.
Mm-hmm.
Pete owned that whole
And that
guy.
Mitchell
I
said,
guess.
God, that
Yeah,
knocked
I
the
own
fly
that
off
whole
a
corner,
gut
yeah.
wagon.
Huh?
That Mitchell said, when
They
Henry,
had the barber shop and
Yeah,
Elmer,
the barber
Elmer
shop and
Henry
pool
come in
hall.
pool hall.
and sit with them shitty
Well,
boots, he just
store,
come out
yeah.
of the corral.
Movie theater.
And he, that Mitchell said, "Who? Knock a fly off a gut wagon." And you know, they didn't talk, they didn't whisper.
No.
He
No.
never did get really clean, Henry, though.
Oh, he was pretty good once they cleaned him up.
Once.
That wasn't
I,
very
that's
often.
what I heard.
With Connie, when he
Con-
married Connie.
Yeah.
He got married the second time.
Yeah, hell yes.
Lou, do you remember Uncle Bert's barber shop up there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's where I saw the cow.
And the pool hall?
The pool hall, yeah.
Right next.
Jack
Right
Henry
next to the pool hall.
Uncle Bert, the pool hall, and guys.
Yeah.
Well, there was guys and then the theater.
Yeah, the theater on the other side of guys.
The Rio, and then, well, that's where our goat used to poop.
Who?
Our goat. He'd drive.
Everybody peed beside the show house.
I know, but it was quite a ways to the outhouse.
Yeah.
There was a lot of it out there by
Pee in the aisle and pee right there where there's
beside the
fish.
show house.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I like these fun stories about each other. I
Yeah, there's a.
I heard that Skeet was real funny.
He was.
No,
He was.
dull.
And give
He
him.
terrorized Dad.
Do you
That's
remember?
that was a lot of Dad's problem right there.
That's what he was the reason Dad died young.
Hey, Richard, tell a story you told
Do you
me
remember
about what your dad
Sitting at
told
the
Gary.
supper table when Gary come running in. There's a fire! There's a fire! And we all jumped up and he says, in the stove. Jeez. Dad chased him around the table 2 or 3 times.
I
And then when
remember
he
the
come
one
in
time that
mocking Joe Meeks, that Dad couldn't
you
handle
could
that.
you could walk Joe Meek.
Yeah. Having the smoke.
He
Well,
can
like
mimic
to slide
anybody.
I remember he was dancing with Nancy.
Oh, I think I remember
Nancy.
that.
What was her name? Charlie
That's no,
Nancy
Johnson.
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 And hell,
Nancy and Nellie.
you didn't know the steps, or you just stood on her toes and laid your head on her breast, and she danced.
Gary.
What's the story you want to hear, Carol?
I'm just going to tell you, when I was going with Gary, he sent Biddy and Rabbit over to pick me up. Because
Well, that's a good group.
Over to the Alpines because he was dancing with Nancy Johnson.
True
That's
story.
Peeper's mother.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny
I
then.
remember.
I was on a New Year's Eve.
I remember Carol used to call the pool hall to see if Gary was there. And Gary would tell Harvey or Lizelle, tell her not to pay the ransom, I'll escape.
Hey, you just asked him to tell a story.
I did that one. He
That
did.
was-
Wayne, tell me,
He can
I
mimic
get this
anybody.
story kind of mixed up, but didn't Dad, at one time, you and Tom, seemed like Bertel was there, maybe Gary was there, but you run away when you were just kids.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't
And
serious.
Dad come to find you, and you was up the creek hill, and he was on a horse when he found you, and he had a little whip,
Quirt.
Quirt.
and he would, and you guys was all barefooted. This is how the
Amen.
story I remember.
Amen.
He was all barefooted, and as soon as you'd slow down on the rocks, Dad would pop you on the butt with a quirt.
All of them were just Wayne.
They
Oh, no,
mostly, I
Wayne
got
was
most
usually
of
the
the
slowest, but
I took the abuse for the whole damn crew.
What'd you run away for? Just fed up, huh?
Well, they tied me up to a tree.
you know, when we were kids,
High on suspenders.
when we were kids, a lot of times Mom would say, "Don't leave the lot,"
Oh, yeah.
and you didn't leave the yard all day.
Never told me that.
Oh, you
Of course
remember?
didn't.
You remember Albert Stewart?
You what?
AT.
You remember him?
Kind of.
His wife. They own the store there.
Yeah, Maggie.
Maggie and
Albert?
Albert.
Albert. Yeah, but Tom has come out around the river road.
Oh, yeah.
Him and
They're
they
taking
run off
apples.
they run off the road. Yeah, and hell, they were just like that in the car. And you know he had
Arthritis.
arthritis. Hell, you couldn't get him out of there if you
Stiff.
tore the car apart to get him out. But that was terrible. He was.
Hell, all the apples hit Albert in the back of the head.
Yeah, Albert was.
But then Albert used to take us to Heber, that old Studebaker,
Yeah.
with the blinds on it.
Well,
And he'd go in the bakery there, and when we,
Always stopped at the bakery.
and we'd have to eat stuff, but we had to lick our lips real good before we got home.
so Maggie wouldn't know.
So Maggie,
Maggie,
wouldn't
don't
know
tell
that he'd
Maggie.
given us-
And he'd let, if he told a nasty joke, I'd have to stand back. So I couldn't hear the joke. So he'd tell it to the boys, but I had to stand back.
Well, Tom and Albert and Brent went to Provo.
Tom and Albert and who?
Brent.
Brent.
Oh,
When Brent was a kid. Well, anyway, they got in a store, and you know, Albert had arthritis, you know,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
but Brent had to pee, and so Albert helped him. But hell, he said he peed all over my hands.
Oh, Brent will like to hear this.
But I can see, you know, my fingers are that way now.
But Maggie was kind of ornery lady
She
too.
No,
was
she
mean
was
with-
nice.
She was mean with
nice.
Albert.
Was she mean with Albert?
Well,
But now June was the mean. June was mean.
No,
June
she
was
was
mean.
a naughty
She was-
old lady.
I
Oh,
remember June sitting at the front of the store.
well,
At night.
Yeah,
she was
at
a
night,
real
she
keeper.
could,
Yeah.
she'd
Yeah.
go over and do the books at night.
I had to go clean her house. And you know how you cleaned her bathroom floor, which was it was a marble black
Uh-huh.
floor. You cleaned it with a cheesecloth on your hands and knees, and you had to like this and bring the 3 little things that you found on the floor. And she didn't think you'd done it good enough, so you had to go back with a clean cheesecloth and do this floor
That's
again.
the same way it was when you brought the coal bucket in.
Oh yeah.
Like you'd set it down on the snow or something
She
and
was
load
a
it full of
witch.
coal and take it in and a little bit of snow got on the floor
And you remember how she used to beat Lizzie?
and slide her around.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
Ooh,
remember.
she
Well,
used to
she
hit-
was mean
And
to
that's
Lizzie.
what
She
I didn't
was.
want Ryan.
Don't you
to
remember
be
Lizzie?
I remember
or
Lizzie,
June.
but I didn't June beat her.
You know, oh hell,
she
yeah.
did. She'd slap her
She'd,
face.
she'd walk around with her hand on that.
I'm going to kill myself
I'm gonna
tonight.
kill myself tonight.
Kill
Thank God I am,
tomorrow.
June.
Gonna kill myself tomorrow. Gonna kill myself tomorrow.
that was too bad, you know.
Honored.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Aunt June was a bitch.
yeah.
And
Dad
then
And like
made-
your mother said that too.
Huh?
Your mother said that too.
She was. And I had to go. She
That's-
paid me 25 cents.
if Mom
But
ever said
that's when
anything bad about
She
somebody,
got mad at
June
Maggie
Bonner.
for
Oh,
doing
yeah.
Mom's hair before she done June's.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, just a little.
June was wicked.
June, she
You had to
was
have the
mad.
kindling the right size too, didn't you?
Yeah,
Oh.
and beat her on the ground so there was no. You had,
Yeah,
you
the
were
right
careful.
side. It only
Who
be
is
about
this?
3 inches.
Who is she?
June Bonner.
Did you know
She-
Maggie?
Yeah,
Her
but he
sister.
wants to know how she's related to you.
She wasn't.
Who, Maggie?
She was a dog.
June.
June.
We didn't have people like that.
Did she have? Who
Well,
was
she
her
was
great-
Dad's double cousin.
She was a cripple.
She was?
She wasn't married.
Oh,
Oh, she wasn't
Was
married,
she?
but they'd be double
She
cousins.
didn't
I
ever
don't
marry,
know that
did she?
anybody knew.
But
George-
that's who
George and
Ryan
Tom
and Lindy
were
saw the
brothers.
name June
And they married sisters,
in
Alexander.
ancestry, and I tried to tell him,
Oh.
no, don't name her
See, that
June.
was
She was a
Phoebe.
mean woman.
Her mother was Phoebe.
Phoebe.
Yeah.
And then Ada was.
Yeah, she was a Bonner, right?
Yeah,
June Bonner.
Okay.
It was brothers married sisters.
Did you have to get her wooden coal in there?
Well,
Well,
three
June
three
Bonner.
Alexanders married
Get her
three
wooden
Bonner.
coal
Bonners.
in when I didn't.
Glenna, who did
Brothers
June
and
belong
sisters?
to?
Huh?
Three Alexanders and 3 Bonners.
Is that
all
your
married?
job?
Yeah.
All
Well,
brothers and sisters,
Cole?
not cousins.
Coal
Wayne?
in?
Yeah, Cole Wood.
Well, I
Wayne.
did that for a long
What?
time.
We
Who
had
did,
to. I
who
mean,
did June belong to?
What was her dad's name? George?
George.
George.
Was she born crippled?
I think
I
so.
think so, wasn't she?
Yeah, sure.
there was Tom and George and
William.
No,
Bill.
Bill first.
That's
They
the
were
three
born in
Bonners.
Ireland.
So
The
all
others
this
was-
time, there
they
was
was born in
Venus
Mountain
on
City.
Bonner's
Corner.
side.
Deseret and
And I
Tom
thought you said it come from the
and
Alexanders, guys.
In Silver City.
Mound City.
Oh,
They were.
where's Mound City?
Where the Memorial Hill is.
No, it ain't. Mound City. Oh, I was going to get
Gary
on
lives
track.
in Mound City, doesn't he? Which
Well,
one?
no, that's where Swiss Oaks is. And all them mountains, that was Mound City. That's where Tom Bonner was born, and Des Bonner. And that was before the Utah became a state.
Oh.
You all remember Bill Farrell, the old.
Yeah, oh
Oh,
yeah.
Bill and Annie.
We was hauling hay down by their house in a hay wagon, and me and Ray was just telling jokes and having fun with each other, and Bill was following us, throwing the hay on, and told him to shut up. He says, "You don't know that Christ was crucified or killed in a car wreck."
And Annie was the best cook in the world.
Oh, yeah.
But you
I know.
watched
Yeah.
what plate you put.
Yeah.
Your
I
plate.
know wipe your plate off first.
Could have yolk on it from the day before yesterday from the eggs. But hell, she was
Oh,
good.
Oh, gee.
Well, you know,
Well, she
Just
worked
didn't
too.
look around. Just don't look around the house when you're there. Just eat.
And I used to have to
but Ruth wasn't very
stay
nice.
there
to
and
her.
help her
Who?
clean up after dinner.
Ray's
Oh,
wife,
jeez.
Ruth Farrell.
Ruth?
She wasn't very nice to Annie.
No,
She
Annie
wasn't?
used to
No.
always say, it's too bad Ray can't change his name to Curry.
Yeah,
She
she's
used to always
house
tell
was
us
dirty,
that.
you know, and I thought you couldn't pee in Annie's toilet.
They were the nicest people
They
in the
were
world.
the salt of the earth. That she wouldn't.
I don't know.
have
See, he
anything
was
to
good
do with.
ornery at times.
Who, Bill?
Old
Ray
Bill.
what? Ray
Yeah, he
Farrell,
could come out
Watt,
with
and
some-
Ruth.
Bad
Oh, yeah.
language.
Mary. Oh, she was way too good for Aunt June or for Annie.
Well,
She couldn't wipe Annie's butt.
well, I think you and Ray got
Let me
full.
tell you a story about being
And the
Farrell.
Bill found you. And he said, what were they doing? You was out on the lawn. He said, they're probably out on the lawn trying to hang on to the world.
I remember once Bill and Annie went to, where was Ray stationed in the Army?
In Kansas, I think.
Where?
Kansas.
Anyway, they went back to see Ray, so we had a big party. And we ended up, Phil Pinner was there, and
Oh.
there was quite a bunch of us, but I remember Phil because me and Phil and Biddy was all standing around the toilet taking a leak.
Oh, jeez.
Hell, the phone was that deep.
That was yours
Straight
younger.
beer.
Dick
Go ahead.
Johnson come in.
Who?
Dick,
Uh-huh.
Charlie's Dick.
Oh.
He was your buddy.
Yeah.
He come in
Puked his
and he
teeth
was
out.
sick and he puked in the he puked in the phone. And he reached in and grabbed his teeth,
Oh, you guys are making
stuck
me
him right
really-
back in his mouth. Hell, then we all started puking.
I'm glad I was older than him.
That's true story.
These stories back
Oh
on track.
well. I think go through all that shit again.
Hey, I want to hear. How about stories about Richard?
Now, who?
You. You're Richard.
I was always busy working.
Me too.
I tried to keep 2 brothers in the Navy. That ain't easy.
Those two.
Yeah, I had to work, send them money.
Because we was always out, wasn't we?
Yeah, always.
Right home.
Yeah.
What was you getting paid when you was in the Navy? When you went in?
You can't.
I forget what it was.
When I went in 50,
When did you in Germany?
let's see, when did Kennedy get killed?
63.
Well, that's when they put the stoplight here in
That's, I was in Germany then.
Yeah, and when was that? That was
63.
63 is when that.
Because I lost $20. Cause
Yeah, that guy.
Because I was on my way from Fort Ord, or from San Francisco to Fort Dix to go overseas, and there was no light when I left. And I got the Wasatch Wave every week,
Oh yeah.
and then a buddy of mine got the New York Times, and his was this big around, and the Wave, was about this big. And he said, I went through your town about a month ago, and there's that one stoplight. I said, bullshit, there's no stoplight in Heber. He says, yes, there is. There's a stoplight. I said, I'll bet you $20 there's no stoplight in Heber. Here come the Wave. They had a big grand opening,
What year was that?
63 or 64.
So we got that first stoplight in 1963.
Just
Yeah.
like the celebration they had in Midway when they
Well,
put
yeah,
the light
big
up.
time celebration.
Big time
Yeah, the only celebration they had Midway is 3 people drove by and give Colleen the finger.
Yeah. Poor
You
Colleen.
need that stoplight.
It is. It's necessary.
Colleen
Oh,
gets
it's
one
busy
for
over
it.
there.
Well,
We're
it's
getting
been
another
that
one,
way to
too.
me
You
You
gotta
for a
see it
long
during
time.
Midway days.
They gotta put one there.
It's better than a roundabout
They're
there.
Yeah,
gonna put-
they're getting another one too.
I know that's what there's nursing.
They're going to put one down on River Road.
Pink,
Yes.
Pink corner.
In the spring.
No, in
Are they
spring.
gonna wait till spring now?
Yeah.
That's
That's what Colleen said.
I
I thought that's what she said.
Oh.
Rather than
Well, they need it.
Took me 2 minutes to get across there one day.
I would try to get you couldn't get on Heber's Main Street if there wasn't a light.
No, that's
There's
true.
more traffic here than there is in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Oh, I can believe that.
I
That's
won't.
why I sold my car.
I won't go after dark across Main Street.
I don't like
If
to
I
use
get
rough
black-
language on that light. But Steve Farrell come home from Vietnam, I guess. He was in the Marines, and Bill took him to Heber when that light was there. And that Bill went right through it. And Steve says, Dad, that was a stoplight. You look around, oh fuck, that's just for tourists. No, I didn't want to use bad language, but that was the word. But that sounds like Bill, don't it?
Yeah, it sounds like Bill.
Said it the way it was.
Boy, he had a temper.
Just the way it
He
was.
did.
Yeah.
Sleeping out down there with Biddy one night, and Ray slept out with us. And it was time to get up and milk, and he yelled at him. And they didn't get up immediately. He yelled 2 or 3 times, I think. And then when they looked up, he was coming with a pitchfork. Boy, it didn't take them too long to get up and dress.
I'd say it's interesting. So 1963 was when the stoplight. What I mean, are there other cool? That's cool. What other things happened that you can remember that kind of stuff happening?
Well, when did Dad die?
63.
63,
63,
December.
right?
So he didn't even see that light.
There was a big.
I was in basic training when Dad died.
You
yeah,
swear?
I remember you
I was
coming.
in basic
Yeah.
training for
Oh, would
war.
you?
You remember when they put the islands in Heber Main Street? That was a big deal.
I can remember putting them in, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, it was.
remember
Pearl
taking them
Broadhead
out.
and Demps, Ferris.
Well, Carl Probst was teaching then, and he left the high school, and he come down the other side of him. He said, "Who in the hell put them in there?" And he drove through the corner and went to Midway. Who in the hell put them in? No, I don't know. That's just a story.
What was the grocery store?
There was OP Skaggs.
Heber City Exchange.
Exchange
Merck.
yeah.
Mercantile.
And Merck.
Heber
Safeway.
City Mercantile, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And there was
Safeway.
Safeway.
Was OP Skaggs always OP Skaggs? What did it have?
Well,
What?
Frisbee ran that, didn't
Huh?
Cliff Frisbee ran it,
Yeah.
and then my uncle Ezra.
Ez-
Wagner.
Ezra.
he? Yes. Yeah, it has.
And Frisbee, wasn't Frisbee in there
Bruce.
too?
I mean Bruce's dad.
Yeah, Bruce's
Cliff.
dad.
Cliff Frisbee.
He was in OP Skaggs.
There was a
Was
Wasatch
Yeah,
Market
that was across
Where
the
was
street.
that?
with Smith's.
OP Skaggs was
You
across
remember
the street.
The one that Ezra
Down
was.
by
Do you remember
Yeah, yeah.
Anderson's
Wasn't it on the
store?
west east
yeah,
side?
right
Right
there.
next to
Anderson's
Turner.
furniture store?
Yeah, like Turner Lumber.
Okay,
It's-
where what's on the corner where Ashton's used to be?
The one stop.
The Alamo,
the-
or the parts house.
Uh-huh.
Actually,
Okay.
Down there just a
And
little
then
ways further.
you just went down the street, and then there was this Wasatch Market. And that's Earl
Yeah,
and Sons had
Yeah.
this meat market.
Buell's.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You didn't.
And
You
then
guys
we
came. You guys stayed. You guys lived in Midway, and you stayed in Midway because everybody didn't have a car. So did you just stop at the Midway Mercantile? Is that what you did?
Yeah,
And you
George-
raised your own beef or
George
whatever.
and
so-
Maggie had
Yeah.
everything you
Guy
needed.
Coleman had the best bologna in
Yeah.
town.
Oh,
Yeah.
he had a big
And he didn't
nice-
wash the knife.
Yeah,
What?
He'd start with this
one
thin,
at the top and this
and
one
when
at
it got to the bottom, it was probably that wide.
But it wasn't
Yeah.
very
I don't think he ever
sanitary
washed that
store.
knife.
Oh no.
I bet he'd never washed it once.
No.
Whack, whack, whack.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it was good bologna,
But it was good.
especially when you got to the thick end.
And you could buy anything. You just took a while for them to find it. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of like Allied used to be.
Huh?
If we don't have it, you don't need it. That's Allied Department or that old one on 5700 South or in Salt Lake Allied Development. You could go in there and buy screws and bolts.
Mhm.
Every time Brent would come deer hunting with us, he'd have to go down to Allied. He loved Allied. Get down there and get his deer license.
Let me tell you one about Pete Coleman. He was,
Do you know Pete?
you know where he lived?
Who's that?
Pete Coleman.
Rick.
Pete's one that shot Gary in the ear.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of stories about Pete Coleman. I just don't know exactly who
Well,
he
he
is.
married our cousin, Joyce.
Joyce, yeah.
Yeah.
He
not-
was in the
not
church was
first.
just across the street from where he lived.
Yeah.
Coleman's. And then they owned the store there. And Marvin J. Ashton was coming to town there once in a while. He'd go down to the store and just talk to him, you know, and have a drink. And he said to Pete, "Pete, you just live across the street from the church. How come you don't go?" And Pete says, "I haven't got away."
Haven't got a ride. Yeah.
All right.
Pete was a good guy though.
Yeah.
Pete,
But
Pete
don't
was a
cross
good
him.
guy.
Don't cross him.
Pete,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, don't
Yeah,
cross him.
you didn't want to cross him
No.
because
Ooh.
you,
Well,
Yeah,
Whitaker
okay.
beat
you
the
were
hell
on
out
his
of it.
list. You were on his list.
Whitaker.
Who did?
Yeah. By Tom Whitaker's dad.
Scott.
Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thumped him.
And
Young Scott was reading the funny book.
I think Bernard Probst was alive then. I guess he was banging on Pete, and Bernard says, "I think he's had enough." But did you know Bernard
Yeah,
Probst?
I used to go in his cattle truck with him.
Not
He drank the big quarts too.
Yeah, you did.
He drank about
Ernest
everything.
Kohler.
Who?
Ernest Kohler.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Kept his in the barrel when you'd shoot
In the
his
granary.
horses.
yeah.
We'd
Well,
go up
didn't
to
Rex Kohler have a thing he kept booze into? A barrel of
Rex.
yeah, grain barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Well, that was his dad, Ern, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Ern up there,
by the homestead.
Homestead,
Okay, it wasn't Rex.
not Rex.
Oh, Rex, yeah.
Rex's dad.
Okay.
Where did Rex keep his booze at?
He always had
Well-
one.
Well, he had a granary down there, but we had to walk clear up to Ern's to get one.
What happened to
Well,
Rex's
Bud knew where it
back?
was, but
What happened to Rex's back?
I think he broke that in the mine.
Did he?
I think so. That's yeah.
Which one, Rex?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, he had a good smelling pipe.
Oh yeah, I used
Yeah.
to sit on the porch.
I can remember being pulled down there in a wagon. They used to go visiting Dad and Mom.
That was
used to
Yeah.
before sidewalks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
beside the-
Didn't
Oh,
we,
that
we had a
is-
sidewalk in front of our house all the
Yeah,
time.
we
did.
always had one. We was uptown.
Well,
We're
I don't know if we did or not. Well, didn't the WPA put them in? It seemed like them Ben Lightman-
WPA and the CC the
and
same
the
thing.
C- No, I don't know, but I
Are they?
remember them rocks out front.
But they went from
Uh-uh.
the rocks in the ditch.
Well, no, along the path where you
Dr.
walk.
August.
There was one culvert where it came out of our
I
place.
did
I
it
was
when I
gonna
was
say, I don't think we always had sidewalks.
But the sidewalks,
what
like they
they
went from Faybands to the town hall.
That was that was
Well, they went down to Fred Howder's.
They do what they go
Giggy
that far.
Howder's. Yeah,
That's past Sid Epperson.
yeah. Well, Giggy's right on the corner. He stole shovels.
He what?
He stole shovels. When you're working on a ditch with him, you didn't leave your shovel laying around. And when he died, hell, his garage was full of them. That was Giggy Howder.
Wayne, have you seen Dr. Bogus's it's the
Headstone?
cemetery, his tombstone,
Mm-mm.
Dr. Bogus? You know what it says on it?
What?
I did it my way.
oh God, amen.
That's what
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I work for the devil.
He's the one that fired
did
them
work
all,
for him?
wasn't
Huh?
he? Didn't he fire them all?
Yeah.
So did your
August.
mom.
Did
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a bugger.
He
He
fired
fired
them
them
all,
all?
didn't
Yeah, he did.
He did?
he? Yep. I think it only lasted about a day, but he fired her.
But then the hospital was open then, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's when he took a horse in to get x-rayed.
Yeah.
One of his horses in the x-ray.
He wanted a nurse that knew everything that an RN knows, but he wanted a nurse that hadn't been to school.
Sounds like Jack.
That was him. He was a
Well, he had a
beast.
brother. Did he
Glenna,
have
were
a
you a
brother?
nurse?
A peon. You know, I never went to school.
But you did what the nurses do.
Yeah.
You remember when Bogus screamed at you and Bud Raymond when you was carrying Mary out of the hospital? She broke her leg. And Bogus said,
Mary who?
she'll...
My sister.
Oh,
Carol's
yeah, Mary.
sister.
Okay.
She got broke her leg on fell off a horse or got bucked off a horse and broke her leg. And we had her in the hospital
She was in the 7th
and
grade, I think.
Bogus x-rayed and said, yeah, it's broke.
Mary, my
And with
sister.
this kind of a break, she'll have a limp the rest of her life. And so Virginia called Afton, and Afton said, well, I'd kind of like a second opinion on that. I'll meet you I think we went down to the LDS in
Same work or something.
University Hospital.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, seems like that's when I had one of my
Kidney
other troubles, my
surgery.
kidney stones or something, you know. So I had to get Gary and Bud Raymond to carry. Bogus wouldn't release her from the hospital. So I got Gary and Bud Raymond. You remember when Bud Raymond's barber shop was right there across the hospital? And Gary and Bud was carrying her down, and Bogus was screaming at her, "I hope the hell they kill her down there." No, he was hell.
He,
He said, take her to the trash pallet.
Kelly Christensen worked for Bogus when he was young.
Uh-huh.
When Bogus first bought out there.
Who
He's
did?
a friend of ours in Salt Lake,
Yeah.
Kelly Christensen. He has the icebergs in Salt Lake. And he said he was on the porch with Bogus one night, and somebody was screwing around down in the pasture across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly said he shot at him with a gun, a 30-30.
Well, I
He said,
believe
"Oh,"
that.
he said,
I
"That son of a
don't
bitch should get off my
kind of
property."
I
can
A
believe
couple of
that.
shots at him.
Yeah.
He's nuts.
He was. He was crazy. But yet he had patients that would kiss his butt.
Yeah.
Orson liked him.
He was really good with Aunt Mary, I've got to say that much. But
Well,
I'd take her and he'd say, what pills does she take? And I said, a yellow one and a red one and a pink one. And he says, listen, the next time you come back, you better know the names of all of those and the dosage.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I
I
wrote
said-
them down.
I saw a picture of Doc Nielsen's Carl. What's
Carl?
his kid's name? Doug.
Doug,
Yeah.
He looks just like Doc.
I know.
he's weird.
He looks just like him.
He's
See the
just weird.
chiropractor?
No, he's the,
He's got a home up
his,
there, hasn't he?
his son's a chiropractor.
I don't know.
He's the one. He's the one
Is
up
he
on
the
the hill.
brain surgeon?
Yeah.
He's got cancer.
Married to Vera?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
married to Vera, but he's weird.
He's not doing well. That's what I heard.
No, and he's probably nearly blind.
Well, when we was doing something on that house up there, and we got to talking, and he thought his dad was a dirty son of a bitch, you know. Well, he broke his leg or something in high school, and they took him to the hospital, and usually they deaden it, you know.
Uh-huh.
Not my boy. My boy's too tough for that.
Oh, gee.
He said they set the damn thing, but he said he passed out, you know, from it. So his dad was a son of a bitch. But you'd remember, I imagine, you know.
Yeah, you would remember that.
Yeah, you did not. Not my boy. He's too tough.
Mm.
Oh,
Nowadays, a doctor wouldn't dare do anything without deadening him. They'd get him for what?
Child abuse.
I just go in and say, I don't take shots, I take pills.
That's what I tell them.
You don't take many, do you?
Shots?
Pills.
Oh, a handful every day. Vitamins.
Oh,
Look how well he is.
yeah. Uncle Flug used to curse Aunt Gladys. Oh, son of a bitch. Full of pills.
There was a henpeck guy too.
I can't imagine with Aunt Gladys.
Me either.
Grandma says, don't come down here boo-hooing. She was good natured. Grandma Webster.
Oh,
yeah.
That's,
She hadn't had these either. Remember the night Lou killed himself?
yeah.
And I had to go tell
Oh,
her?
I remember that.
You had to go tell her with Uncle Lou?
Yeah, Floyd Witt said, I can't. And so he called Jerry and I, and we went up to the sheriff's office, and he told us what had happened, and he said, his mother's got to know. And he said, Glenn, would you go tell her? Oh, well, I didn't want anyone else to have to go tell her, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was horrible. That was horrible. And she just started crying, and she said, if I had only given him that money that he wanted that morning, he come over to her place and wanted some money.
Every day.
Yeah. And she said, Lou, I haven't got any money. So he went and broke in the liquor store.
Alcoholic.
Yeah.
They put him in jail, and that's where he killed himself.
Yeah. Is Lou? Did he ever marry the kid?
Oh.
Lou?
No.
Not Lou.
He never.
Neither
married.
did Judy.
He's
Did you-
Barney's
That's
age.
Bernice's brother, Landon.
Nan and Judy don't get along very good.
Who?
Nan, you remember Nan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Her and Judy. I
Judy.
guess you was telling me that.
Judy
Oh, yeah?
doesn't get along with too many people.
Well, I think Lou's mentioned that.
Oh.
Judy's kind of on the. I worked with her, and we didn't have any trouble, but it was her way or no way, and I'm sure it's the same way with her siblings. because they don't have anything to do with. She doesn't have anything to do with.
Does
them.
she live here in Heber?
Uh-huh.
Who?
Lou
Judy?
Lou does.
No.
No,
Judy
Judy's down
lives. Where does
somewhere in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Did
Nan lives in Heber.
did Lou take Yvonne's house?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Or did they sell it and split up?
Oh, they sold it?
Louis
I don't
lives
know.
there.
I don't know. That's next
Louis
to your
lives there.
cousins. Oh, that was Uncle Link's. That's the house we're talking about.
Which one? Oh,
Behind
Connie.
Connie's, yeah.
They live
Well, has
there.
anybody got any more
Wow.
memories of Dad or Mom? That's what we was here for.
I have one.
Okay.
Never come and visit during Dallas.
Oh,
I used to call Mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was your mom. Don't come visit during Dallas. 'Cause
So I
back
had-
then you
Dallas.
didn't have
So I'd have
demands
to
or
call.
anything, recordings. Okay.
I remember her cutting the. She cut apples and put them in those little like those cookies that are like a shortbread type cookie. So that would soften the cookie up. So she'd have like little apple
Oh,
slices
yeah.
in there.
Down in her applesauce
Yeah.
cookie, she'd put a piece of apple down in there to keep them
That
soft.
good carrot pudding. It seemed
Yes.
like
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Huh?
that carrot pudding.
Oh yeah.
She
for
was a good
Thanksgiving.
cook.
And did she? Richard says she made bread almost every day. Did
Mux
she?
Oh.
McPhee used to walk from Heber to get the heel.
I know
Yeah.
he would.
He'd get the
She
heel.
made a
And
lot
I'd,
of
and I'd
bread.
get the other one.
Huh?
I'd get the other heel.
'Cause
Yeah.
I
You guys
remember
were there
Mux-
every day. You go there for your coffee, right?
Where?
That
Grandma's
was when
house?
she lived in Heber.
And when in Heber. I even took a couple of girls there in the back of the truck. I didn't know they was there. They were sleeping out. They woke up and was over to Mom. On the truck.
Hell, that was a ritual to go down to Mom's
Yeah.
for coffee every
Oh
day.
yeah.
Hell, if you didn't come, she'd call.
Always had the coffee pot on.
Richard had come home from work and he'd always go to Mom's first to get his coffee or whatever and his cookie,
Yeah.
the applesauce cookie.
Applesauce cookies.
applesauce cookie
Yeah,
Joe.
they was all that cookie jar was always full. She must have baked them the other day.
But I remember laying under her ironing board
Well, I remember.
and the tune on the radio. It's high noon in New York and time for Kate Smith. Can anybody recall that one? High noon in New York and time for Kate Smith.
I remember Kate Smith.
I remember that.
Well, she still sings at Yankee Stadium.
Oh,
I mean, she's dead, but her recording.
Yeah.
That's high noon.
Well-
Oh hell, she could sing.
God bless America.
Yes,
Well, my
that's
dad
yeah.
used to listen to the Shadow Knows laugh, you know. What lurks in the heart of man, the shadow knows, and then that god awful laugh he had.
Well,
that
I
was on Sundays, wasn't it?
Sundays, yeah.
but that
Yeah,
was on
we
the
have a
radio.
whole
And we had to be real quiet.
Oh, radio, yeah.
What?
Or TV.
Hattie
Yeah,
Jackson
that's
to
was
the
it.
radio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. and Mrs. North was on Sunday
Well, I
afternoon.
remember-
because that's where I first got scared, was listening to the Shadow.
Not over yet.
Well, I remember.
Well, and Dad, he couldn't believe if Dallas was on,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
that was Mom.
That was Mom in
Yeah.
Dallas,
Yeah.
yeah.
Still hates scary movies.
Well, I
Yeah.
remember
Oh, what the hell?
one
He
night
didn't want to bother him during Sam Spade.
during what?
Sam Spade.
Sam
That's
Spade.
right.
The guy with the rifle, what's his name?
Who?
The guy with the rifle.
Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connor.
Right.
That's Dad had to watch that.
We
It's
used to
on
go to
now.
Aunt Elvis to watch What's Your Line? What's My Line? What's Your Line?
Yeah. But I remember
And Ed Sullivan.
Lou or Wayne and Tom was sitting at the breakfast table, having breakfast, and Dad had a hangover, and Mom was over at the stove cooking, and Dad was sitting on the chair there by the stove, and he said something to Mom, and she didn't answer him, and Dad reached up and kicked her hind end. Wayne and Tom come off their chairs, went over and grabbed Dad, said, "Don't ever do that again." And I don't think Dad ever.
I don't think.
Well, I remember saying back talking to Mom, saying something I shouldn't have said, and I didn't know Dad was behind me, and he hit me side the head. I could have sued him.
I don't know.
I'm a good
Charles,
attorney.
I could have sued Glenna. she could outrun me. And I hit her one day, so she got away. And hell, Dad, I didn't know Dad was there. Hell, I fell to foot in the rear end.
He wasn't afraid to do that.
I know it. He never did stiffen up, I don't think. Well, I remember Tom walking in there, and Dad was laying on the couch. How you doing, Sooner?
Oh,
Oh, God.
Oh.
And Tom took off, and Dad was after him.
What's sooner?
that was
That was his nickname.
That you didn't call, the kid didn't call him that. All
Well,
his friends
up
called
to the
him
mine
Super.
they did, you know.
Huh?
Up to the mine and that, you know.
I mean, but
It
you,
was always,
you kids
oh
were-
no,
Mhm.
oh no.
No.
Well, he was on Tom as they jumped that ditch together, going toward the store. And I didn't think Dad could move like that.
What did he do when he caught him?
Well, he got his attention. I think he forgot Sooner.
Yeah, we didn't. No, you wouldn't call Dad Sooner.
Dad he had a quick temper. Geez, he explode just like that, but he'd get over it that quick too, as I remember.
Yeah.
He didn't hold grudges.
Well, he didn't have time because he got in one grudge after another. He was always mad.
Well, Ellis Clyde always called him that too.
Sooner?
Ellis Clyde.
Yeah.
Then Dee called me that, you know, in school. How Sooner, you know. But he picked it up from his dad. But I didn't call Dad Sooner.
No, nor me.
Nope.
Wondered how he got that name, Sooner. He told me it was because he would rather work than play.
Well, I heard he liked to be there sooner early, sooner than later. You know, he didn't want to go to work late.
Well,
Well,
I
yeah,
think,
he always figured if he
I
wasn't
think
15
they all
minutes
had
early, he was
nicknames up
late.
to the mine.
You what?
All had nicknames up to the mine.
They did.
Yeah. Well, where did you get yours? Them damn Bonners at Skeet.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's that? That's took your name.
Did you all have a nickname?
I was Purdy. Yeah.
Hurry?
Purdy.
Purdy.
You was?
No. No, I'm not. No.
I never had a nickname. I did when I went to California. I got called Dick.
Well, Aunt Glenna named me Penny when Leland and I were born just a month
He was
apart.
Pinky.
And he was Pink and I was
Yeah.
Penny. And I got called that till I went to school.
Mhm.
She called me Penny. I didn't know whether she didn't like Mom naming me Glenna or what.
And Leland was always Leby, wasn't he? Leby?
I don't know.
He was when he got older, but he
Was
was
it?
Pinky as a
Yeah,
kid.
he was Pink.
I know he was Pinky. Well, everybody, you know, in the family.
Who was it was getting the other side of the road when they was walking the town in Midway? Because you was there.
Oh,
Hell, Calvin Oler and Alan Van and Johnny Raymond.
They'd get to our house and
Alan.
they'd move across the street
Were you
and
really
walk the
that
rest of the
mean?
way.
Glenna?
Hell,
Were you
John
really that
Raymond
mean?
and
I
Guapa
didn't
Block.
mean to be. But
You
I
just love discipline.
had that or about, what did you call that?
Aura.
Yeah, about me.
That you took the bread away from Connie, wasn't it?
No, it was Calvin. And he didn't dare tell his mother who took the crust of bread. I liked the crust. And
So-
he didn't dare tell his mother who took it.
I can remember when we'd buy a loaf of bread at the store. It was a real treat.
Oh,
It was all
Yeah.
sliced.
Oh, we never had homemade bread. I mean, bought bread.
No.
Now we want the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
now
true.
I'd really like to have some of that other stuff.
So Glenn, is it a true story that you passed a note to Leland Divers and it had a booger in it? That's a true story. Say I picked this just for you.
And he,
Yeah, but what had Leland so nervous?
he about puked.
You remember back then when you got caught passing notes, you had to read it.
Yes.
And Leland got that with the booger in it. He thought he would have to read it.
Poor thing.
I can see Leland's
Who
face.
told you that?
Richard must have told me a long time ago.
We thought it was an urban legend.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh.
And Leland was, he was shy.
So you guys have seen a lot of change in this valley.
Oh my, yeah, I did.
When I left to go in the service, there were 711 people in Midway.
You're
Well, I thought it
changed.
was 805 when I left.
805 as I remember it.
I thought it was 711 when I left.
Well,
In
it's- I
just-
mean, it wasn't growing.
In
That
Midway City.
wasn't the elevation. What's the elevation of Midway?
It was on the sign down behind us.
5,000.
5,500 or something.
Yeah.
56.
Well, that's on Main Street in Heber.
Oh, is it?
They
Well,
used to be
Heber
on
Main
the
Street,
same-
and Midway Main Street's just about the same.
Heber Main Street and Foothill Drive, or up by Elmer Colders is the same.
Is it?
But when I was in
Yeah.
high school, it was the elevation and the population was about the same in Heber.
Now,
5,000?
Just in Heber.
How big's Heber now?
Oh.
just Heber
I don't
City.
know what Heber is.
It's about 32,000, I think, is.
Well, your school is 5A now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The high school.
Mm-hmm. Unreal.
Yeah, we built 2 new schools this year. To house
You
them.
what? How many kids in high school?
Oh,
Uh,
hell.
there's-
Over
They
50.
There's about,
graduated
there's about
500
900
something
per
last year.
grade.
Oh,
Not
Wow.
quite
They'd
500.
have to graduate more than that.
900 per grade.
You what?
940 or something per grade.
That's unreal.
How many did?
940.
For the 4 grades?
Yeah, because there'd be
Well,
a
every
class
grade
A.
right now, that's about that.
Every
Who do we
grade.
have left?
That's according to
kindergarten.
Justin Kelly. He
Who
told me
did-
that the other day.
Who did we have last?
Because I
Not
figured
us,
that,
but
because they're about the same size as
Shannon
Bingham
and then
and
what's the big-
Alta. Bigger than
Shannon was
Alta.
pretty good size.
They're planning on
There's
on
class.
it being another 30,000 people in the next 5 years.
Where the hell are you going to put them?
That's what we was wondering.
Out there in the
Well,
North-
they're doing it.
in the North Village.
Anywhere you go, there's a damn house going up.
Yeah.
So obviously you hate the growth, but would you want to go back to the way it was?
Yes,
Yes.
You would.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, you gotta. I mean,
Except for
I
the
think you're
outhouses.
in real
Except
estate.
for the outhouses is right. We don't want them.
You're in real estate, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
That's-
in Sandy, we have a mayor that doesn't want any open space. He wants to build buildings and buildings and buildings. He wants Sandy to be just like Salt Lake City, and that's crap.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is crap. And he's got more money than he can spend on his campaign, and he's a powerhouse.
Who is the mayor down there?
Tom Dolan.
That's Sandy's mayor.
He makes more money. He made more money than the governor. And
Wow.
it's increased his pay 22% in 5 years.
I don't
Was he
love the
like
growth.
Trump?
I'm in real estate, but I don't love the growth. I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think I benefit that much from it.
No.
But the minute they get in here, then they start.
Then they wanted to stop.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
that started in our day.
Huh?
That started
Yeah,
in our
they-
day.
you
When they
know,
come there,
you just-
let's keep it the way it is
Yeah,
now.
We have pure
But just like
Midway.
when I was doing
Only
the
for
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that.
The factory
Uh-huh.
stores over in Park or
Like
Kimball,
pure.
Kimball Junction,
Yeah.
them Californians come out and tie themselves to cats. They're the cat track. I just started some of a bitch up and run down the road with it.
They're trying to stop
They were
you.
trying to stop it. It was.
When did they change that road? From Kimball's Junction over to Silver Creek?
I don't know.
What road?
I used to go with Faye Van every day.
No, at Kimball's Junction. See, that was Highway 40
Yeah.
and come through Park City.
You could
When
pop
did they go
Jinx.
over to Silver Creek?
Oh, I don't
And
know.
why did you,
Pop
Lou?
Jinks and Coffee John's right across the street
Yeah.
from each other.
Lou, why did you go with Faye Van? Were you working
He
for him?
tended me.
Well,
Oh, he tended
well,
you?
he drove
Really?
truck.
My folks abandoned me.
Oh,
Uncle
yeah.
Bert took me and Faye.
For his survival, he went with them.
Well, when I got out of the Navy,
That's cute.
I caught a bus out of Salt Lake, come home, and they went by Kimball's Junction,
Neighbors
and
helped each
that
other.
road wasn't there. I went up there. I said, I just come from the east. I don't want to go back. Oh, just sit down. We'll be all right. And then they put that road in. That'd be 54.
I tell Faye every day that I was going to stay awake all the way home.
Yeah,
And
that.
I'd hit the mouth of the canyon.
Was he a nice guy?
Yes.
Say,
They,
oh, you could
He had
beat
one
him.
son,
And,
Alan.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's who we went to Wildwood with. That was our holiday.
That was
Do you
a
remember
holiday.
going to Wildwood?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Went with Faye and Maria and Alan.
We had to be good for 2 weeks.
Was that your only trip? You ever went
That's
on
the only
as
one I
kids?
remember.
Yeah, you didn't.
We didn't go anywhere either.
No, That was clear down the canyon. Woo!
Well, the railroad
All
was
day?
down there
All
too.
day.
What, the railroad was down there?
They had that little train. down there.
Little,
With the
little
Wildwood.
red train?
They did
Oh,
have
yeah.
a
Yeah,
yeah.
they had a little train down Wildwood.
Wasn't that Wildwood?
Wildwood, that's
Yeah,
what it was.
Wildwood, yep.
Got to ride
Did
the
you ever
train
see
for
that?
10 cents.
But you always
Maybe.
gotta go get, I got chocolate milk every day with Faye.
Yeah, I went with Faye a time or two.
Oh no, Faye was.
Elroy used to drive it too quite a bit.
Did he?
Elroy van.
His brother.
Faye was he had more personality than
Oh
me.
yeah, then
He
Burton.
did any of them.
Yeah.
Burton was trying to.
Is
Were they
Harvey,
brothers?
Harvey still alive?
Yes.
Elroy
No,
too.
none of them
Yes.
are.
Doyle, he's gone too?
Dallas is gone.
Oh, I didn't know Dallas is
I
gone.
didn't either.
Yeah,
Is
I
Madeline
believe
still
him.
alive?
Well, you told me
Marilyn
that Brenda
and
was
Madeline?
born.
Madeline. I don't know if Madeline's
You
still alive or
and
not.
Doyle Van at Kilby's.
At Kilby's?
At Kilby's. He
Madeline.
was a highway patrol.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Madeline
And we
Madeline?
stopped in there for something.
No,
Yeah.
Madeline
And
was
you and Doyle was in there.
Yeah.
And you mentioned
Right.
Brenda. Oh,
Doyle's
Yeah.
sister.
that's what Brenda.
Marilyn
Yeah.
was an older.
And what do
She's
you
still
call?
alive.
Yeah.
I didn't have
She
phone.
lived over at Memorial Hill.
Yeah, I used to ride with Doyle.
Yeah.
Easy
Yeah.
getting the baby.
Yeah.
Well, Burton was kind of a pompous old dude.
Who?
Burton Wagner.
Yeah.
Oh, he kind
Was
of.
Blackie their brother too?
Oh, Farron. He was the superintendent.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair.
Baron, he
Baron.
wasn't a brother, was he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Was he? Okay.
Was Paul her brother too?
Hmm?
Paul
No.
Wagner?
No.
But
No, Paul's Billy's.
Carol's son.
Paul was a brother to Ammon
Yeah,
and
and
Joel.
Inez?
William.
Yes.
Yeah. But Burton wasn't Burton my grandpa's brother? William?
No. Oh, he might have been.
I think so.
Yeah, I
he was
think
the
you're right,
youngest. So I don't know if that's where Farron fit in. Was it Richard?
What?
I don't. Who
Where
did
Farron
Farron
fit in.
belong to?
Well, that was Faye's brother, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Baron, yeah.
That'd be fair. No, what?
He didn't stay superintendent too long, did he? In schools?
He died, didn't
Did he
he?
die in office?
I think so, didn't he?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Well, he taught when we was there.
Who was the superintendent when you was there?
Lula Clegg, I remember Lula
Oh,
Clegg.
Remember
she
Lula,
was
scared
for
to death
years
of
and
her.
years.
That's when I was in first grade, because
She was a
Did
Oh,
Ronnie
mate.
Messendorfer teach when you were growing up?
Who?
No,
That this-
Rolly
this-
was later
He was later.
when our kids.
Lulu had a baby way up in the loft.
Yeah.
huh?
She tied her. Lulu had a baby way up in the loft. She tied a rope around its neck. The damn little fool jumped off. Now I remember that. We didn't record that.
Yes, we did.
Oh my God. Shirley, what memories do you have?
She's been thrilled ever since she got to Midway.
Yeah.
But Lulu, she was around a long time.
yeah, yeah.
She always looks so ornery.
Stern.
Very stern.
Who you talking about there?
Lula Clegg.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
was. She looked like she had a broomstick up
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
back.
Hell, she was superintendent for a long time. Hell, she's the one that brought Jim.
We went to 7, 8 grades in Midway
Oh, did you? Just high school over here?
before we came to Heber.
I was the first class to go to Hebrew in the 8th grade.
You was? You was the
Oh,
first?
yeah, well, I remember Alan Kinsey and those guys didn't come over till.
Did you go to the 8th
Yeah,
grade
they came
there?
over
Is
in
that
the
when the
8th
school was
grade.
at the
They
park?
were a year behind
They
me.
was here
Yeah.
behind you.
Where the park is now?
That was our high school.
Well, when they tore that down, they had a fire there to burn it at night, you know.
Oh, on purpose, you mean?
Yeah, on purpose. And I knew about it. So I was up there wandering around with him. And Gene Proper said, "How did you know?" I said, "Hell, it was in the wave." Well, that ain't the story I was going to tell, but
The school burned them down?
well, they burned it down intentionally after it caved in.
It caved in.
What school?
Midway
Oh,
School.
Midway.
Midway School, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I got to light a match to burn that down.
Yeah, you'd be in the fire department then, wouldn't you?
And we all had to follow one of the guys that were setting the fire. I guess we're not called arsoners. They came up and they knew where to put the gas or the fire stuff, you know. And I went just with the guy, just to show him around. I guess that's all we was doing. When it come to light it, he asked me if I wanted to light the match. They lit it in several different spots, but I got to light the match to burn it.
Well, then me and Ars went up there after it was down. And I said, Ars, I had 8 hard years right here. He said, that all? And I said, well, that's all there was. Oh, no, I had 10. I said, how'd you get that? 2 in the second and 2 in the fifth. I mean, he didn't laugh.
Is that true?
That's true, yeah.
And he was smart.
Huh?
Ars was smart.
That wasn't that, but he didn't. Well, he might bring a blow snake or something to school or something.
He was so smart that he.
Well, he didn't have a lot of common sense.
No.
He didn't?
No.
No.
And he was crude with me on occasion. I can handle it.
I remember him, Mom's car, she went over to the store. She lived in Heber. And she came over and went to the Midway Merc. And her car wouldn't start when she came out.
Oh, yeah.
And none of us could get it started. And was ours over to your house?
Well, no, I called Ars. I said, you called me, somebody. And I said, I can't do a damn thing. I'll call Ars.
Yeah.
And that's when Ars come down. Well, Kent was there. Your boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom came out when Orson got there.
Yeah. And they got the hood up and Ars and there, you know, try it. And it took right off.
Well, Mom said something to him first.
Yeah, well, I asked.
And he says,
Yeah.
why don't you
No,
just get your ass in
that
the
was
store?
Kent's smart answer.
Huh?
What?
That was Kent's smart answer.
Oh.
And what did Ars do? He said, it looked like he just laid hands on it.
Boy, he was smart.
Well, yeah, hell, you can. Now, he was explaining them engines when we was putting them in down the power and light.
Yeah.
And Ray Farrell was explaining them. And Ars had been in there a half hour looking them over. He said, you don't know too much, do you? And he explained how they worked. You know, it shut him up. You know, he wasn't trying to be smart, but with an engine, you couldn't fool him.
That's
You
right.
couldn't?
Nuh-uh.
And you